All right, guys. So this is a clip from Angela Rose and my collaboration. So I went out to Colorado and sat down with her, and we filmed an astronomical amount of content. Now, this one that you're looking at right here is on her page already, but the one that we're going to be looking at right now is from a section where her and I did not agree at all. And it comes down to the largest either accomplishment in human history or the most successful PSYOP conspiracy of all time. And you guessed it, we're talking about men walking on the what? That's right, on the moon. She thinks that it's anti-American to entertain the fact that we didn't go, when I think that the fact that we tricked the whole world would be the most gangster thing of all time. Of course, there's no way to prove it either way in current state, but you're going to see who wins this debate, because I knew a little bit more about this than she did, you know. She's a very smart girl, though, because you'll watch. I like watching people learn things and then watching their confidence just kind of shake a little bit. But you should go to her channel, subscribe to her channel, and then watch the other stuff, because we had a bunch of excellent dialogue. But this one's about the moon landing, so buckle up.
Not as fast as I was bet on the moon landing being fake, but...
Which definitely was not.
Definitely, dude. Oh man, have you seen the recent one where they're like we're back in the race to the moon? Have you seen that? And they're like, we are not going to let China beat us back to the moon. And you're like, beat us back to the moon? Why don't you just go then? Like, why would you have to do it? Like, we know how to get there and back. That we went there before computers. Like, how it should be super fucking easy now.
Okay, so we spent $100 billion over the last 60 years.
How?
59 years
On
NASA
what?
has on projects to return to the moon, and it has not.
I mean, what? No, like no man missions have gone back to the moon for.
Okay, so in staying back to
55 years.
55.
Uh-huh.
Okay, in staying back to the moon, you understand that we have been to the moon.
No. Oh, I don't think we have. I think I think it's the most successful, greatest PSYOP of all time.
I just can't.
Have you ever
if you have any pride in this country?
No. I see it as I have pride in the country that it's like I see us faking it as the most gangster ass move ever, ever. Like I don't say like the framing that I hate that framing where people are like, you're shitting on like the greatest accomplishment in human history. It's like, yeah, but it's not real. Like what we actually did is we tricked the entire world to where everyone still believes it now, dude. Okay, so here's the thing: is Google scrubbed the entire internet of all of the like studies, proof, videos. There used to be so much stuff on YouTube, and they scrubbed it all.
All of my searches in general now are the last 2 weeks of news. 3-4 pages down
it's
on
crazy,
Google,
huh?
And it's like you have to search for something else.
Yeah.
Like if you want to find anything,
it's true. Let's just see who knows.
Something related to the past. 4 weeks ago to try to get that news or an article.
It literally, whatever topic you search, it's going to give you the most recent thing that happened on that story. So if you're like P. Diddy and it's like 2 weeks ago, whatever, you just know there's no new stories about Diddy or whatever. But moon landing, there'll be a million things. Okay, so let's see who knows more about the topic.
Okay.
How far away is the moon?
It would take...
how many miles?
2 days to get there?
How many miles? Actually, better question. What's the furthest that humans have traveled off of Earth aside from the Apollo missions? If you don't know, it's not like it doesn't prove anything that you don't know. It's 500 or 600 miles. It's lower Earth orbit. 500 or 600 miles is the furthest that humans have gone off, except for the Apollo missions in the late 60s, early 70s.
Is the moon a few thousand?
227,000.
227,000 miles away?
Mm-hmm.
200?
227,000 miles away, yes. And there were no computers in 1969. There was also...
That's really far.
Yeah, I know. And also, and this is this is
really
verifiable,
far.
Absolutely, everyone agreed on scientific fact that aside from those, the furthest humans have ever traveled is 500 or 600 miles maximum. And they're 227,000. And what's the temperature on the moon?
It's cold.
If the sun's on it, or you're right. If it's cold, if the sun's not on it, it's negative 350 degrees, and if the sun's on it, it's 350 degrees. So either direction, it is extreme weather that humans couldn't.
I mean, nobody's arguing that the moon is a very welcoming place for humans.
Oh,
or
no,
that
yeah.
it's the place that we should be.
Dude. Okay. So,
I mean, I believe that we should be there now.
like, what do you mean be there?
We should be on the moon. We should have established colonies on the moon.
Why colonies on the moon though?
Because we have work to do there.
Oh, like if to mine there and stuff? Yeah. I agree. Like that's why I'm so confident. Like it's just another reason I'm so confident we didn't actually go is because like everybody has like I've read these articles that say that they estimate that there could be up to like $40 trillion worth of like rare minerals on the moon or whatever, and you're like, so what are we doing? Why don't we go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like here's the other thing too is the Van Allen radiation belts, and this is so funny because this is the kind of thing that you learn about, but then if you search Google, ChatGPT, whatever, they have literally made it to where they will, if you search, how did the Apollo astronauts get through the Van Allen radiation belt without dying? Because the reason we have never gone past 500 or 600 miles an hour is because we can't, because we'll go through the Van Allen radiation belt and anyone will die. Okay. And so it's like, so how did they do it there?
Right?
They get they'll burn or get radiation poisoning or whatever.
Radiation poisoning, okay? But that's why they build the rockets, to block radiation.
No, they don't. Like I'm telling you, we could pull up a bunch of interviews of current state astronauts, and they're like, why can't we go past lower Earth orbit? And they'll be like, because of the Van Allen radiation belts. We can't go past this because we'll hit the belts. And so it's just one of those things where you're like, so how did we do that in 1969 or 1970? So, and the other thing is the official story from NASA, current state, you can verify this anytime, that we don't have the technology that we used in the 60s and 70s anymore because we destroyed it. You're all, wait, what? Like the technology that you guys used to get to the moon and back doesn't exist anymore. Like, yeah, we destroyed it and it's too expensive to rebuild it. Also, the telemetry data, which is like it's like the data that gets captured for people to review, whatever. Telemetry data is gone. They do not have it anymore. It's gone. The videotapes of most of the tapes from the moon landings have also been destroyed. And when NASA was asked about it, they said that they recorded over them because of budget cuts, and they just recycled the tapes for the moon landing.
Okay.
Also,
I think though you could study both sides though.
I tried.
Yeah.
I really did. Like I looked into because dude, I don't do the one side thing. Like I really looked, and I was like, okay, convince me that this is real.
Okay.
You know,
and like I have a really basic understanding.
Do you mind if I smoke this?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
On just everything. I'm just getting into this because I love this country so much, and I believe that we're seeing similarities to the Cold War, where we're, election integrity and, voter ID, all these things, and like communism. And so it's just such an important time for our country. And that's the reason why I'm like, oh, okay, space is important, you know? And so the things that people would argue to a moon landing denier, like your unfortunate self, is...
I know more than them.
That if we were fighting with the Soviets and with China, then why wouldn't they expose the fact that we lied?
If they did, we wouldn't know. Like, we wouldn't know. Like, the press is every mainstream media outlet. Like, in order for like the public to accept
with TikTok now.
Yeah, but there's a million things on TikTok that are like, people say that it's not real. It's like, for people to accept that like the official story is now, okay, yeah, we faked it. It would have to go through the mainstream media, and then the mainstream media is controlled by like 6 companies, which are all owned by BlackRock. Like, so if there's a story that they don't want out, we will not see it. Like, I mean, we'll see it, but it'll be through people like who do videos about it, whatever, and then they'll just call them kooks, and that's what it is.
Wouldn't it be convenient for a Chinese platform to push the idea that didn't actually happen?
Maybe but the facts support, like I'm telling you, like like someone's like, Earth is flat. Like that's the thing that they always go to. They're all, oh, you think we didn't go to the moon? So what's, the Earth's flat? I'm like, no, that's the dumbest thing ever. Like I work for the largest private satellite company in the world. Wow. And yeah, I mean, so one of the rocket guys that I met there, here's one of the main things that happened in my life that really pushed me over the edge to really look into it is my wife's uncle was one of the head engineers on the Mars rover project. I mean, like we can get vehicles to the moon and Mars. We've never gotten humans past lower Earth orbit because the humans will die. And on the moon mission, they would have had to get there, land on the moon, relaunch off of the moon. This is the official story of how they did it. There was no computers on the shuttle. They got to the moon. They used the lander. They landed. The lander, launched off the moon and then docked with the shuttle that was orbiting the moon.
Yeah.
And then they shot home again with no computers, 227,000 miles each way.
Well, they did have some form of computer.
The computing power was equivalent to, you remember TI-82 calculators when you were in school?
Okay.
No, I'm serious. Like that's the exact, like the astronaut, he's like, we had the calculators we had were TI-82s. This is what I actually think happened is we had every intention of going. Like with the program was real. Like we were trying to go. And at a certain point, they were like, this is not possible. And it was, that every single moon landing happened during the Nixon administration and during the Vietnam War. And as soon as Nixon was out of office, all of a sudden, no one had any reason to go back to the moon. But
that's horrible for NASA in general that they have to deal with changing administration and changing goals every 4 years when it's such a long-term mission. But
technology is, okay, so like any other technological advancement in human history, like if you're trying to if you're trying to get the internet on your phone, right? Like the first version of the internet is clunky, slow, stupid, and it sucks. And it also is incredibly expensive. So then they refine it, they get whatever, to the point where you can buy like a computer in your hand for a few $100s. Like that's how technology develops.
Yeah,
there is no other example of technology that existed 55 years ago that now disappeared and suddenly no other humans can accomplish the same feat. China has been trying to put a man on the moon for decades. Russia, well, actually, I don't know if Russia has, but China absolutely has. China's putting landers on the moon. They've never put a man on the moon, and they're like planning to do it. Here's the other thing. The United States says ever since the Bush administration, which was the first time I noticed it, so 2001, 2002, he's like, we are going back to the moon.
Yeah.
Every single president says we're going back to the moon, and we never go back.
Yeah.
And
I believe that that's going to change. And I think
hopefully
things are going
to
start changing really quick.
Hopefully it does.
And
I would love for us to go to the moon for the first time.
Let's do a podcast there.
Yeah, dude. But so what I think happened, though, honestly, is that they figured out that they could, because Kennedy, Garant, at the time, the Russians or the Soviets had just done the first launch into space, first dog in space, for satellites, all that.
Dog.
They did. Dog first. Like, so we were behind in the space race. And this was like one of those weird moments where, our whole lives, there's been one superpower. During the Cold War, there were two, and they were like competing. I've always thought it was really weird, that had to be that way. But, and there was nuclear weapons that were actually a genuine threat that like people were terrified that we were going to fire them at each other. And so we were competing on every level. And, you bring it to Nixon, whoever, the CIA, and these guys do all kinds of crazy stuff. And they're like, what if how would anyone know that we didn't go if we just film it? Because the other thing is the year before they went, the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey came out, the Stanley Kubrick make. And if you watch that movie, it looks very, very good. It also looks identical to the moon landing. I think that people were like, why don't we, have you seen Space Odyssey? Why don't we just film it and say that we went? How would they know?
How did they get 400,000 people to lie about
This is not even close to that many people. And also, dude, Neil, which I can't remember which one, Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong, the one that has been doing like events his whole life. If you watch some of these ones late in his life, he is basically telling people that we didn't go. Like they're like, you made this thing, and he's like, was
he late in his life because he was telling people that we didn't go?
No, he never told. No, he never actually told anybody we didn't go. But he's like, he's making it. He's like, we left things incomplete that hopefully the next generation will be able to do.
Of course.
Like he's telling the same lie, same lie, same lie, same lie. And the other thing, there's so much. Look up.
That's what this industry is, though. This is something so beyond us. It's
what is?
The planets, the study of the solar system. It's just billions and billions of years. And so obviously there's always going to be things that are left incomplete. That
there'll always be the next thing.
Next generation to accomplish.
For sure.
And I think we have to do the most that we can do. And I think a part of that comes from a belief that it is possible to go.
I agree. Of course there's a way to go.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible to go. I'm saying it was impossible in the 60s and we faked it because it was a psyop, and it was the best, most incredibly executed psyop of all time, to where, like, again, everyone still believes it. And
my belief, in all honesty, comes just to the point that there are people that have more knowledge than I do on the topic, and I trust them.
I watched them on Rogan, and I waited forever to be like, convince me that what I've seen, like, just invalidate these things that disprove. So I'll tell you another story. This is actually really funny. Okay, so there was in 2009. Okay, so when they came back, right, the astronauts went on a tour to all the different countries, like all of our like ally countries, and we presented them with this plaque. There was like, this is to commemorate what the United States did, and here's a moon rock, to commemorate this amazing feat that we did. So in Denmark, the one that we gave to Denmark, it was in a museum. And in 2009, the museum curator went down a rabbit hole online watching a bunch of documentaries about how we faked the moon landing. And the curator went to the plaque, and they took the moon rock that we gave to Denmark, and they went and got it tested, and it was petrified wood. That's a fact. You can look it up right now. It's on NBC News. Like, we gave a piece of petrified wood to Denmark in the 70s or 60s, and we're like, here's a moon rock. And then in 2009, they tested it, and it's a petrified wood. It's like, I mean, that's like obviously circumstantial. Doesn't mean we didn't go, but it's funny anyway to like, and
so next year, Artemis 2 is planning to launch around April.
And where's it? Is it planning to go
orbit the moon? And then the next mission after that, I believe, is to land on the moon.
That sounds awesome. Why, but again, you just come back to like, I hope they do. I hope that I want them to, like, if they figure out a way to go, I'll go tourist wise. If I'm rich enough, I would love to go to the moon, dude. That sounds amazing. It's just a matter of like, in the time that they said we went, did we actually go? And then the evidence is so overwhelming that we didn't. That's not even getting into like because the way I looked into, I haven't even talked about the way I started looking at it, which was all these things related to the actual moon landing itself, which is like, number one, the flag in the original one is like waving in the air. And it's like, there's no atmosphere on the moon. There's no wind.
But like, there's no gravity.
No, there is gravity. There's less gravity.
Okay.
It's like I think it's 1/6 or something like that.
It's like bounce around. Come on, they're bouncing around. You've seen the videos. I've watched the videos.
Yeah,
they bounce around. They're on the moon. You can't recreate that.
If you take that footage and you speed it up, something like, you make it like 115 or 120, like 120 speed. They literally are just like completely regular, like
they're
whatever.
Bouncing.
So they slowed it down just a little bit.
Both feet floating at the same time.
Pull it up, dude. They're not going higher than you think. They're not going higher. They're just going slower. But here's another thing. So there's footage from the very first one of them. Actually, pull up the launch. Pull up us launching off the moon to redock, because that one is so fake and stupid. And also, the camera goes like this and films it. Who's on the moon to film it? How could they have possibly? This is right here. Yeah. So this is
just a second. My thing is.
This supposedly is the lander launching off of the moon to go dock. There's no stars. First of all, no stars. And then also there is a camera that pans up to catch it. There's no one left on the moon. So who was filming this? Like, who would have been filming this, making it go up when this is supposedly all of the astronauts going back up to the shuttle? Dude, they called the president on the phone, dude. Like, how would they possibly do that? It's 227,000 miles away.
They had Starlink.
No, they did not, dude. That's what I'm saying. They're like, hello, Mr. President. He's like, all right, let's go. Like, it's so ridiculous.
I don't know. They did it somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but watch here. Watch. There it is. See, it's real.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Washington, D.C.?
Yeah.
Have you gone to the museum that has the lander there? Like,
no.
It was a really cool.
That's fascinating.
It was a really cool event, but the lander is made out of like tinfoil. It's like, I was like, this is the moon lander. I was like, this doesn't look very sturdy, but.
Geez, you're like, probably didn't like have a tooth fairy or Santa growing up.
Oh,
so you're just bitter.
Dude, my daughter just figured it out. My youngest was like, I know. Wait, what did she say? Like, I know mom's the tooth fairy. And I was like, oh, man.
No.
She's so, like, people smart, though. That's the one you saw
That's
earlier.
one small step for man.
One giant step. One giant step for the CIA pulling the most gangster psyop ever. Yeah, watch it. Okay, so.
Gosh.
And then explain who was filming this? Like, who was operating the camera?
Okay, I'm going to get the pro.
And look it up.
Wait, shoot.
99.
No, please, God, don't tell me that was going on this whole time.
What?
Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay. Oh, well, we haven't reacted.
Oh, no, because the second audio, because I just added that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But you have both of them deselected now, I think.
Okay, good.
Oh, you want both of them deselected, yeah.
No, I need this one. This is...
Yeah, but that one's deselected. That one's muted also.
Which is good. Yeah, because the audio is going to play into where our audio is coming from, too.
Oh, okay,
That's why I have the headphones.
Oh, cool. Oh, so that's how it ends up, like, even with both.
Yeah, because then sometimes I usually toggle...
Stage pushed. Engine arm is S. Okay, I'm going to get the pro. 99, proceeded. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good.
It's so stupid. Every time I watch it, I'm like,
Wait,
okay.
so who did they leave there?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. Who did they leave there? Who was filming that? This is the official NASA video.
This is great news, though, because that means somebody's
still there. Yeah. They're bones.
Maybe they had some...
Or maybe they went and picked him up on the next trip. They just left him on the moon. And then when they came back, they picked him up, brought him home, and everybody's fine. They're all, hello, Mr. President. He's like, oh, you're calling me on the phone again in 1970 from the moon. It's just ridiculous. It's hilarious. And there's so much stuff on the actual footage of the moon that's like...
Did they not have a controlled camera that can be moved? Did they not set out?
I have no idea, but either way, like, how would they have gotten the footage? Like, they're pretending they had technology back then that they didn't like relay like over the airwaves. Like, how would they have gotten that footage home? It's like you captured it on tape at the time. You know what I mean? So there's no fire, no nothing. They're just like, it just goes boop and it goes up like it's on a string almost or something. Almost like it's... And if you go watch Space Odyssey, 2001 Space Odyssey, all of this looks so identical to that movie. It's hilarious.
The Apollo program, also known as Project Apollo, was the United States human
captured by a television mounted on a lunar rover, which the crew parked about 145 meters from the spacecraft. The ascent stage ignites and climbs. That's like Edfone and Houston, anticipate whatever. So like, yeah.
So they're saying that video was caught from a rover?
I guess. That's what they're saying. I mean, have you ever seen footage that good even from like the current Mars rover? All I've seen is still photos from Mars rover or for the moon rover. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen a video of a rover driving around Mars currently, I don't think. Even if they did though, it's 2025. You know what I mean? See, look, they like the Mars rover is so cool. Oh, I forgot to finish that story.
Okay.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gabrielle's uncle, who was the lead engineer on the Mars rover program.
Okay.
This was in 2017, and I had like really gone I'd gone heavy on the like fake moon landing stuff maybe over the last like year or so. And I was like, and I'm like, hey, can I talk to him? So, and I DM'd him because you were talking through Facebook DM, and I was like, hey, do you know how the?
Wait, sorry, let me.
What for these? Oh, okay.
I have a St. Jude commercial.
I'm like, do you know how the Apollo missions were able to get astronauts through the Van Allen radiation belt? When I've seen all these videos of NASA scientists or NASA astronauts currently saying they can't go through.
Yeah.
And he read it. And then he sat there and he was just coming back and forth. And then he eventually wrote back and he was like, that's above my pay grade. I was like, I knew it, dude. I knew it. So, listen, everyone goes into this conversation exactly like you did. And they come out the other side just like, wait, Okay, that is really hard to explain because it's just like literally once you get into it, it's just very obvious. And again, I'm not shitting on the United States. I'm saying the United States had the most effective intelligence agency of all time to where they pulled off pretending we flew to the moon and everyone bought it hook, line, and sinker. They're on the phone with the president of the United States and everyone's like, unbelievable. The United States is the most accomplished, technologically advanced.
I think also space endeavors and movies, sci-fi are extremely tied together. They're basically one and the same because they take inspiration off of movies or movies can predict things or give
technology too
and stuff. And so this movie of the landing, people
saw, they're like, I've seen a video of it.
And I believe it.
Yeah, I've seen us. I saw it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how believable is that video you just watched of it taking off on the moon?
You're also talking to me, and I need someone who's actually educated on the subject to push back.
All the guys,
because there's obviously evidence of our being there.
That's what they. So they say like you can still see the landing site. You could see all of the stuff. They say that, and then
look at how they welcomed them.
I know. Look at how effective that psyop was. They believe, everyone bought it. Have you seen the press conference?
Back in time and attend.
Have you seen? If I could go back in time to any point of history, I would go back to March of 1997 in Arizona, and I would watch the Phoenix Lights